Today, we're gonna answer a very common question that buyers have. Should I go with a resale or should I buy a new build house? Welcome back to Life in Austin, Texas with Dawson Brewer. I am your boots on the ground and favorite realtor, Dawson Brewer. Today, I have a very unique video for y'all. We're gonna be exploring 3 different homes built in 3 different decades, one in 2004, 2014, and 2024. We're gonna look at all the key differences and we're going to answer that age-old question, should I buy a resale house or a new build house? And I'm actually standing right in front of that first house that we're gonna walk, built in 2004. But before we go inside of here real quick, every single one of these homes I have specifically picked out, and they're all going to be similar in size, location. They're all 1 story. Again, built in 3 different decades, and you have 3 completely different price points. We are located here in Kyle, Texas, which is about 15 to 30 minutes south of Austin, Texas, based on traffic. And what inspired this video idea was one of my specific buyer clients. We were looking at a lot of resales because he specifically said not to go with the new construction because he doesn't like the cookie cutter look. And then we landed on new construction ultimately because you just cannot ignore the incentives that they offer. And if y'all have been watching my videos for a minute now, y'all know the value in new construction. So now we are going to deconstruct what resale homes are really like compared to these new construction homes and answer that age-old question. Without further ado, we are starting out with our 2004 build. And make sure that you stay tuned in to the end of these segments because I will be revealing the prices at the end of these video tours. This one again is a 4-bed, 2-bath, just under or just above 1,900 square feet. Now, before I even continue in this house, the first thing I'm going to point out is the carpet. Again, first story, some new builds have carpets in certain rooms. I just came from a new build myself, and there was actually carpet in the living room / dining room area, but this will all be LVP or laminate luxury vinyl plank flooring. So this one just has the carpet in tile. And also I want to point out is that these are all original light fixtures in this house. Everything in this house is original. One of the reasons why, at least the buyers that I work with in the past, one of the reasons why they prefer resale over new construction is some characteristics of the resale. So this one has that archway on these door frames or through these entryways, and you just don't see that too much in new builds. New builds are very cookie cutter, whereas over here, every single home is built unique. Now, one thing I am going to point out, and I'm going to point out a lot of these things in a new build because it'll be easier for me to point out, but these blinds, I don't know if they're exactly from 2004, but these are definitely not new blinds. You know, new blinds are those thick, I think 2-inch blinds. These, and then you could like close them and open them up without all this. We're going to get right into the kitchen. So the kitchen is very 2004-esque. I picked this house specifically because there was no rehabs done, no upgrades. So this gives us a really good idea of a 2004 build here in Texas. So as you can see here, you have your laminate countertops. Laminate, the modern thing to do now is granite or quartz, no backsplash. You do have the white appliances, so white dishwasher, white microwave, and a white black stove, gas on top of that. In a lot of new builds or a lot of modern homes, you would have stainless steel appliances instead, or even black appliances. White just seems really outdated. In this house, this is gonna be your pantry. Nothing too special. Another thing I wanna point out though is that your hardware, like your doorknobs, those are gonna be very vastly different in new builds than they are in these types of homes. All right, in this case, you are missing a drawer here. This home does have some heavy living condition, and I'm gonna point those out throughout the video. So I don't know if this was used as a rental at one point or if it was just a couple families living here. I don't know the story, but there is this house does have some wear and tear. So as we're coming through, we see this living room area, again, carpet. Now, I don't know how it's going to look in editing, but this carpet is whatever you see in the video. Like I see it more clearly in person than I do in the video, but there's a lot of stains on this carpet. This carpet is pretty dirty and it's probably gonna have to be replaced sooner than later. You come over here, you can tell something has used to be hung up right here. I know a lot of people have their eyes open. And again, this is just buyers that I've talked to in the past. A lot of buyers would have their eyes open to a house like this because this is something that there's not that much heavy damage to the point where you have to get a contractor in here to do things. You could pretty much do a lot of this stuff yourself, unless if you want to upgrade the kitchen and you probably want to hire somebody to do that. But, you know, replacing carpet, painting the house, you could DIY all that stuff. And I think that's the appeal, that's the attraction to homes like this, is that you could make it into what you want versus if you hop into a new construction, it's pretty much what you see is what you get. Here, I mean, there's so much unlimited potential that you could tap into, but at the end of the day, you are gonna have to put that work into a home like this to make it your own. It's not gonna be exactly turnkey ready, right? You gotta take care of, you know, things like this. Look like they had something hung up at some point, maybe a small TV. Maybe they had a pet at some point. I don't smell a pet, but you see these corners are just ate up a little bit, maybe some dog damage. Corners are ate up right here. I mean, you're gonna have to paint that, fill that in with some mud. So you definitely have your work cut out for you. But let's look at the rest of the house real quick. Now, this is the original thermostat. Still have the original lights throughout the house. And we get into our mud room slash laundry room area. I do like this area here because if you were one of those people that parks inside the garage, which we're gonna look at in a second, you just hang up your clothes, put your shoes down, and then boom, walk into your house. This garage does have some work that needs to be done specifically. I mean, y'all can see that, the panel just missing right there. I do want to point this out though, and the only reason why I'm pointing this out is because my client the other day pointed this out on a new build. Walked inside the garage, is like, well, are they planning on painting this? No. As you can see, they don't do this on older homes. They also don't do this on new construction homes. This is an unfinished garage. Most of the time, most garages are not gonna be painted like this. Like, they're not gonna be painted. So we're gonna get out of that. And again, I just wanna point out this hardware because there's gonna be a big difference on the other houses that we look at. So we're gonna get into our first guest bedroom here. And I spent a lot of time in new build homes to know that, you know, this feels no bigger and no smaller than a similar big floor plan, a newer big floor plan. You do have the fan though. And I also want to point out the doors because again, I want to show y'all the little intricate details when it comes to these homes. So pay attention to this door, just the way that it's laid out, like the designs of the wood. Also, small things like the switches, small things like the smoke detectors. Y'all, just like a real estate advice right here. If y'all are selling an older home like this, making these little adjustments like changing out the faceplates, so changing out the light switches, changing out the smoke detectors. This one is more of a yellow tint because it's so old and it's just unappealing to the eye. You know, I'm not saying the eye automatically just gravitates toward that when you walk in a room, but if you're selling a house and you want that top dollar, make sure you just take care of the small things. These are inexpensive and you could do this yourself. So let's get into the second guest bedroom. Similar size as the first one. You're gonna wanna replace these blinds. You got a couple broken ones here. Definitely wanna paint this room as well. This closet is pretty much the same size as the last one. This one does have a little damage there with some peeling paint and some bubbling. It might even have water damage. So this house at one point might have had a leak in the ceiling. And one thing I want to point out here too is that at some point they probably didn't have the stopper on the door, so it punched a little hole in the wall. And you know, things like this, again, if you are selling a home with small details like this is not a hard fix. This is just mud, sand it down, repaint it. And if you didn't want to repaint it because you can't get the same paint code, then just mud it at least and patch it up. We're gonna make our way over here to the guest bathroom. So just real quick, this is laminate countertops. As we're gonna see in the new build, these are gonna be more like quartz or granite. And then you have the shower bathroom combo, the shower and tub combo. Here, looks like they put a hole in the wall, didn't patch it up. Again, you know, small things like this is what I would recommend all my seller clients to just take care of. You don't have to paint match or do nothing crazy, but patch the hole at least and, you know, replace the face covers. Because if I had a client interested in this house, these sorts of items, yeah, I mean, they're small, right? But these things add up. And it's just a marketing strategy to start knocking that price down a little bit more or start increasing the incentives, because we have a lot of work that we have to do in this type of house. So us realtors, we use that in our negotiations. Also, if you're enjoying the video so far and you are looking to make that move, whether you're looking to sell your house or whether you're looking to buy a house, we will take care of you. Reach out to me. I'm gonna leave my contact information down below and also on the screen. When you reach out to me, we'll have that one-on-one talk. A 10 to 15 minute conversation is all it takes, and that way I can help you with your real estate goals, whether you're looking to buy, sell, or even if you're looking to rent before you get into the purchase. Reach out to me and my team. We will take care of you like your family. All right, let's get into the third bedroom here. In this room, again, you pretty much gonna have to paint the entire house. You got the tape stuck on the wall, and you just got the original carpet, the original ceiling, or the original ceiling fan. And also leave me a comment down below on so far on what you think the condition of this house is in. You know, is it a 1 or is it a 10? So this is the master bedroom, and this master bedroom is actually pretty massive. You could fit a lot of things inside this room. And I want to point out one thing too. So depending on the builder, sometimes your walk-in closet is going to be connected to your bathroom, but in this case, they have a separate walk-in closet to the bathroom. And that's what we're gonna look at real quick. So you have your little shelves over here for accessories, shoes, whatever you wanna use it for. And then this closet just kind of wraps around. It's a pretty big closet, actually. Let's go look at the bathroom real quick, and then we'll look at the rest of the room. So this is a double vanity. I always love myself a double vanity. Still has the laminate countertops. Still has the cabinets that matches the ones that we've seen so far in the house, in the kitchen, and other bathroom. But this right here, that's what kind of cements that this house at one point had a leak. Maybe they had something going on with the roof, but that is definitely a issue that needs to be addressed. You have some peeling paint over here, probably from that water, still from water damage. I mean, you even have a piece of the wall down there, some cracked tile right underneath that piece. And then this is loose. I don't even want to play with it just in case I knock it off. I do like the separate tub and shower, but you also have some flaky paint right underneath that window in that corner over there and that corner down there. And I'm pretty sure that's mold. It could also just be gray caulk because it doesn't really look too much like mold. I know that the video makes it look a lot worse than what it is, so we'll just leave that up in the air. It could be caulk, it could be mold. There's also some flakiness right up there. So we're gonna look at the rest of this bedroom from this angle. His bedroom is a really good size. You know, this is not the worst house that I've been in, and quite honestly, it's not really in terrible shape either. I mean, these issues, most of the things I'm seeing is mainly cosmetics. Paint here and there, patching some holes. You know, if you were an investor and you're looking for a fix and flip, you would have to redo everything. So replace the carpet or just put new LVP down. These cabinets in the kitchen, repaint them, put new countertops, whether that's quartz or granite. Obviously get this replaced. Stainless steel appliances, new hardware, new light fixtures, new paint, trim. You could just repaint that, mud whatever ones are damaged. Replace the blinds, put some new modern blinds, replace all the ceiling fans and put some modern ceiling fans. You know, this is a very, very doable and DIY type of project. And I mean, this one is really not that bad for 2004. It's very outdated. It's very 2004 feeling. Not that bad at all. Next stop, we're gonna look at the 2014, but before we get to that 2014, I'm gonna kick it back to myself in the studio, and we're gonna go over the price on this property and what that looks like for a monthly payment. So I'll see you in the studio. Okay, now we're gonna jump into the price of that first home, but just real quick, to make things simple for y'all, I am basing these prices off of a conventional loan and you, the buyer, putting 10% down. Okay, that's gonna be for the 2 resale properties. I'm also basing it off of current market interest rates, which is sitting right around 7%. So for this video, I just put 6.8% because it's still possible to get that 6.8% mark as of today's recording. So that's a general rule of thumb that we're gonna be using. Conventional loan, 10% down, 6.8% interest rate for the 2 resales, and for the new construction house, it's just gonna be what the builder's offering. So the sales price for this house is $270,000. $270,000 with 10% down and a 6.8% interest rate is gonna put you at about $2,300 a month. Next, we're gonna look at that 2014 build. I'm gonna catch y'all on that tour. All right, we are at our second location. This one's that 2014 build that I mentioned. This is actually a 3-bedroom with a flex space, which can be converted to a 4th bedroom. So we are still right on track for looking at very similar properties. We're still in Kyle. This is still a similar square footage size home, similar lot size, still 1 story. And we're just gonna take a look inside. So right when you walk in, you have this covered brick walkway, which is such a cool feature. Now, before you even walk in, look how different this door looks than that last one. We are dealing with a home. This home is only 10 years older versus the last one being 20 years older. But as soon as you walk in, you have just character and personality in this home. You have these beautifully crafted archways. You don't really see in new builds like that. You have them throughout every single entryway, and these ceilings are actually much taller than the last house. Now, the first guest bedroom is actually gonna start off right away to the front, to the very front, and these ceilings are very tall. But you have the more modern ceiling fans, which looks so much better. The different textured doors, it just looks so much more better, different hardware. And the closets are gonna be relatively the same size, but again, it's just more modern, more elegant looking. And look at these types of floors. I think these are called hardy plank floors, but these look so much better versus just walking inside your house. And I mean, we are having to deal with carpet. It is what it is, but these just look so much better than that tile flooring. It looks more homey. The second guest bedroom, similar size as the first. And these guest bedrooms are pretty much the same size as the ones in the last house. The biggest difference is that this ceiling is just so much taller. And look at these blinds. These are the thick blinds that I was talking about here. Remember in that last house, you just had those very skinny ones, very fragile and easy to break. These are much harder to break. This one, you do control with the string, with the rope. If you wanted to pull these up, you would have to control it with this string. But once we finally get to that new build, we're gonna look at the most advanced blinds that there is on the market. Now this carpet does look newer. I don't know if this is the original carpet or not, but this definitely doesn't show any signs of wear and tear. Now this bathroom does have a little makeup nook right here. It's shared between both the bedrooms. And look, instead of having laminate countertops, you have more of quartz countertops here. Then you have the combination of a bathtub and a shower. That's a quirky shower head right there. Get your little medicine cabinet right here. So far, so good. And check this out. Recessed lighting. Remember in the last one, you had the lights that just hung down, and it makes the home seem that much more outdated. They were doing this back in 2014, these recessed lights. They are different. I don't know if the camera can pick that up because the light is on, but you can see that they're gonna be different than the new build because the new build is gonna have a cover. You're not gonna be able to see the light bulb. It's just one like cover. But over here, it's still recessed. These are just not the modern recessed lights that you would see in today's houses. And if y'all remember from the last house, look at the trim on this house. Trim is a little bit more thicker, and it just has that more of a luxury feeling than the previous house did. And I'm not pointing out that the other house, had damaged trimming. I just want to point out the different stylistic differences because as you're going through these different decades of homes being built, they're going to integrate more technology, more finishes, more modern looks, and they're going to advance the technologies that these homes have to offer. So before we get into the kitchen area, let's look in this side of the house, and that way we could just look at this side of the house and then flow smooth over there and spend some time over there in that area. So before I get to the game room, or the fourth bedroom. Let's look at the laundry room. This laundry room is different than that last house. So this one is a little bit smaller. So I can see the floors, because remember in the last house, we had that little cutout that had the clothes hanger spot over there. We don't have that over here, but check this out, y'all. Check out this garage. This is a finished garage, and I'm so glad that this house had one, because we were just talking about that in the last house. Remember, we just had the paint stripes in the last house. This is a finished garage. These people, you could tell, put really good care into their garage, and they even epoxied the floor here. It's just so much better in this garage. They also have 2 separate garage doors versus the one. So 2 separate garage door openers. Me, I'm more of a fan of just having the one big garage door, because guess what? Double the doors, double the garage openers is double the issues, double the maintenance and all that good stuff. This house also has a irrigation system over there, and I could tell here that it's plugged for a water softener. I know that the last house did not have a cutout like this one does. It even has a step up right here. So you are getting a little bit of elongated garage, a little bit more storage. And like I said before, in Texas, we don't have basements in our houses, so any additional storage space is always going to be a plus. And then your side yard just goes out. You just have access to your side yard as well, which we're not going to go out there. There's no reason to. Make our way back into the house. Again, I just want to point out the hardware difference. Remember that last house? I don't know what it is with loose doorknobs, but this just looks a lot more modern, more sleek. And it just also feels like this is thick. So to me, it just feels better. This one just feels a lot more better and a lot more quality too. So let's look at this half bathroom here. So nothing too special about it. You just got the sink and toilet combination. But look at this family room. So this is just a difference between the last house and this house. If we could just imagine this being another bedroom, you just add a closet, call it another bedroom. You got the double French doors over here. So this is gonna be the original thermostat. Now, today's thermostats are a little bit more technologically advanced than this one. In the new builds, I mean, you can get a really like a touchscreen one with Wi-Fi and all that good stuff from Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever home improvement store you live next to. But for the standard new builds, you're probably gonna have something similar to this as well. But this one is definitely much newer than the last house was. This is the kitchen. This kitchen does seem bigger than the last house. Last house was more longer. This one's a bit more wider. This one does have laminate countertops, so we still haven't seen granite or quartz in our houses in today's videos. But this is a lot more counter space. You can see a darker wood color. You don't have the, I don't know what to call it, but you know, in the last house, you had those little lines throughout the wood and it just looked pretty old. This one, even though the house is 10 years old, it doesn't feel old. It doesn't feel outdated. Y'all let me know down below if this house feels outdated to you or not. Or if you even like this color in the cabinets. I like this color. I am colorblind. I know I don't see black and white. There's just some shades of colors that I get wrong, but this seems like it's more of a brown to cherry type of color, a brown and red type of mix with these cabinets. Maybe cherry oak. I really like the color of these cabinets actually. I prefer these type of cabinets over like white cabinets. I don't know, I just really like this color. The countertops, I'm not a big fan of. You have your recessed lights. You can tell like the recessed lights are still not 100% modern. They are modern, but they're not today's type of design. And I'm gonna point that out in the new build. You can see the stainless steel fridge. Remember we pointed that out in the last house? The more modern look is stainless steel is the most modern look you're gonna get. Black is gonna be the next step down. And then white is outdated. And then we're gonna look at the pantry, similar to the last house. And look at this living room here, y'all. Look at this living room. I absolutely love this living room. The ceiling fan, super modern touch. I even like these lights right here, the lights hanging down. This is all personal touches right here, but I do like the taste of this homeowner, I really do. Your entertainment system are set up here. I do like the archways. I do like the fact that this is specifically for a TV. You can tell it's already built into the structure. versus just having a flat wall there. Light switches, I didn't point that out in the last house, the light switches, but we're gonna notice in the modern homes that the light switches are gonna be much different than what these light switches are here. Hopefully in a new build, it's gonna show that it's gonna be more of a, just a it's a flat switch. You know, it's not gonna be like these knob switches here, just a flat switch. I'll point that out in a new build. So they built out their back patio. I just saw wasps, so I'm probably not even gonna go out there. Y'all can see over here, they started to build a patio, started to extend it that way. Got the screen over here, ceiling fan out there, and just the fence that goes around. It actually looks pretty similar to that last house with the brick combination with the fence. So I'm really glad the video and today worked out the way that it did. But this is a very nice outside area. This master bedroom is pretty massive. I would say two completely different sizes between the last house and this house. But I would say functionality wise, they're probably around the same size. One is just a big rectangle. The other one was just more of a different type of shape. But you do have your big bay windows here, 3 of them to be exact. You do have your large ceiling fan there. And these ceilings are still tall. This one shows a little bit more wear and tear. Look at these thick baseboards at the bottom as well. Very thick baseboards. Now remember what I said in the last house, that usually I'm used to the closet being off into the bathroom. So in this case, the closet is off into the bathroom. Before we get to the closet though, I want to point out double vanity, just like the last house. Instead of having laminate countertops though, you are sticking with the quartz. A lot of drawer spaces. Now you have your tub separated from your shower over here. I would love for this bathroom to have had a mirror, or not a mirror, but a window, because it feels super clumped in, I guess, is the word I'm looking for. It feels like it's just like a small space. Not really, because this bathroom is a big size. Like I like this size of bathroom. You know, I have a bigger house than this in my bathroom. My master bathroom is much smaller than this one is. But I just wish that they had a window here just so they could open up the space a little bit more. Now this closet is actually smaller than the last house. And remember what I said in the last house, I'm accustomed to having a security system inside the closet. This one does have that. That's more of the modern technological updates that you're gonna have to these newer homes here in Texas, at least. And I just also want to point out again, the hardware is completely different than the last house. This one also has a medicine cabinet, which I actually don't see a lot of those in new builds, if any at all. Let me know down below what y'all think about this house. Where would you rank it from a scale of 1 to 10? 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest. And also, if you're enjoying this video, leave me your opinion down below. I like to hear y'all's feedback, I really do. If y'all want to see more videos like this, where we look at houses with different decades, so y'all can get an idea of how much technology changes over the years, let me know down below, and I can even create a playlist and a little series out of this. And maybe we can start looking at houses in the 90s, 80s, 70s, and just keep on going as far back as we possibly can. So y'all let me know down below if y'all want to see more videos like this one. But I'm gonna kick it back to myself in the studio so we can go over the price, and then I'm gonna catch y'all at that final new build. All right, don't go anywhere. Whoa, all right. For the 2014 build that we just looked at, the asking price in that house is $315,000. Again, using a conventional loan, 10% down, with a 6.8% interest rate, you are looking at a monthly mortgage payment of $2,700. And just in case y'all are wondering why I'm using 10% as a rule of thumb, is that with the conventional loan, you could put as low as 5% down to as high as 20 to 25% down. I'm just using 10% just to be in the middle of both of those numbers. So we're just trying to play safe, just for the overall picture. But you are looking at $2,700. That is a $400 increase from the previous house. That is also a $45,000 increase from the previous house. But you do get a 10-year newer home, but the home is still 10 years old regardless as of today's recording. Let's look at that last house and then we're gonna pop right back into the studio. All right, we are at our final stop of the day. This brand new construction built in 2024. And this is gonna have all the technology that I was telling y'all about throughout the video. I'm gonna point those out. I'm gonna point out the light fixtures. I'm gonna point out the hardware. We're gonna take a look at all that. Again, similar size home, similar size lot. This one's a 4-bedroom, and let's just take a look. So here's the outside of the home. Now remember, our previous house had the 2 separate garage doors. This one just has that one. I personally like this look better. It's just, you know, if you really think about it, if something happens with one of the garage doors, it's double the maintenance versus something happens here. It's just a one-time type of fix. Just on the outside of the home here, we have some brick finishes over here in the front. And it's just gonna be like your hardy plank on the sides. We do have this little covered patio here, which is always nice. And we just have this warm, this really modern gray type of color. The colors right now, the modern colors are just gray and white. So I think that's why a lot of people gripe about these new builds, is because like they almost all look the same. So immediately the biggest difference that we can tell just by walking into it, you don't have those archways on the entry, you know, those curved archways. Even right here, it's just all perfectly squared away. And it's just straight into the living area. And there's also no carpet inside of the living room or anywhere here that you can see it. It's just straight LVP luxury vinyl plank flooring. Remember, I mentioned in the last house, these light switches. We don't have the knob light switches. These are more energy efficient, and these are now the modern look. The hardware on this house does look similar to the last house. There's really nothing special about this one. Sometimes you might get the super black ones. I like the black ones personally. It makes it more, it just gives me that luxury feeling. Now these recessed lights are different. As you can see, remember the last house, you were able to see that bulb in there. You could like twist that bulb out and replace it that way. This one, you gotta remove that covering and replace the bulb that way. I never had to replace one of these, so I don't know if there's actually a bulb or not, or if you just have to replace the entire light. I'm pretty sure there is a bulb. But anyways, that is the difference between today's recessed lighting and 10 years ago, the recessed lighting. Same thing as the light switches. So we already have two technologically different things inside of this house, more modern. And let's take a look at our first guest bedroom. These guest bedrooms are about the same size as that last house. Now, I did mention the blinds. Thankfully, this house has it. So we have these thick blinds that, remember in the last house, they had that drawstring to pull the blinds up. I never liked that about blinds because I can never get it straight. It would always be just one way or another one. This one, and it just stays by itself. Same thing. So you pull it down, boom, just like that. I don't like the drawstrings. I like this. This is a much cleaner look, and this is modern. Now in this one, as y'all notice, okay, we have a similar size closet. Maybe this one's a little bit deeper than the last house, but the thing to point out is that this closet has a light. The previous houses didn't. The two previous homes did not have a light inside the guest closet. And to have a close up on the door, the second house had a similar door to this one. The first house, remember, had like it looked like the doors almost looked like the cabinets in the kitchen were painted white. Whereas you just have this solid base color on this door, same as the last house. Now let's look at our first guest bathroom. Now immediately we see that this one is granite countertops, and this one has the backsplash inside the tub. It does have its own window, but it has that privacy window, so it still lets that natural light in, but nobody can peer in and see what you're doing. So let's make our way to the living area. Now, before we get into any other room, let's just quickly go over this kitchen. Now this kitchen, although it's very plain, it does have backsplash. The other two kitchens did not. I don't remember off the top of my head. I'm gonna have to go back in the video, but I don't recall the previous kitchen. I know the first house didn't have this, but I don't know if the second house had these outlets in the wall or not. I think that's more of a more modern feature, meaning that new construction homes are more likely to have these outlets in the walls on the kitchen versus homes that are a little bit older. So once I go back and review the footage, I'll see if that second house had it or not. This one is gas appliances, but you can see stainless steel, everything, stainless steel microwave. Even this one looks a little bit advanced right there. Look at that. Yeah, this is like a brand new microwave. Even I got 2 new construction houses and my microwaves don't look like this. But you do have that stainless steel stove with the middle burner and also stainless steel fridge. What do y'all think about that kitchen island, by the way? What do y'all think about that? I don't know how I feel about this. This is a pretty long kitchen island. It's a unique shape. I'm not gonna say weird, but definitely unique. You got space for bar stools on both sides, but I mean, it kind of looks like something, doesn't it? If you look at it from this angle, it kind of has a shape of, you know. Anyways, the builder let me know though, this builder specifically, the fridge comes with the house, the blinds comes with the house, the washer dryer comes with the house. Usually when you're dealing with a builder, these things don't come with the house. This one does. If y'all want information about this builder, reach out to me. My information is down below. I'm also gonna leave that on the screen. Let's take a look at this pantry real quick. Now this is gonna be your biggest pantry of the day. It also has a light. More of a little small closet. The other 2 was more of just like a little tiny room. Remember what I said about the last house too? I like the oak, like the brown reddish tint on the cabinets more than I like these white cabinets. These white cabinets are modern. This is a thing. This is the thing that's in. You will either get white or gray. It's mutual colors. White is always going to make the room feel bigger than what it is. But I don't know. I just like the brown cabinets better because like if you do white everything, so white cabinets, white counters, white backsplash, white countertops, white doors, like just like white everything, it just looks boring and plain. And I can see why people get turned off by it. For me personally, I would like the brown reddish cabinets more than I like these, or even just an accent color in general. So this is the unfinished garage. Remember the last house we had the finished garage, the first one we didn't. This one comes with the garage door opener, just like the previous 2 houses. Also comes with the water, the irrigation system. Now, I don't know if it's on this side. So, yeah, okay, so this irrigation system specifically has Wi-Fi, so you're able to connect it with your phone. I'm gonna doubt that the first house had that. Not sure if the second house had that or not, but if I was a betting man, I would say it probably didn't have Wi-Fi capabilities. That's more of a new thing. This one is also pre-plumbed for a water softener, so all you gotta do is just get that water softener tank and you're good to go. Our primary room is gonna be in the back. Before we get there, let's go into this little section of the house over here. This is what a newer thermostat looks like. You could actually disconnect this head and change it out just like that. Remember that second house? I think that second house had a 10-year-old thermostat, but it was still a little bit more advanced than that first house, because that first house looked a little bit more original. This is what the new stuff looks like here. This should be able to be controlled through your phone as well, through one of the apps that they have. Laundry room here with the little shelves on top. Now this laundry room is definitely probably a little bit smaller than the previous 2, but it is not connected to your garage. I know some people like to have their own laundry room space that's not connected to any rooms, so that's a plus in my books. Now let's get to the other guest bedrooms. So this one, nothing too special about it. Same thing as a closet. This one does not have a light this time, but this one shares a bathroom with the other guest bedroom. So you still have the granite countertops. Now you do have the backsplash with the kitchen with the shower and tub combo, and you share it with the other guest bedroom. Now this closet is more of a walk-in closet. It actually looks like this is the biggest guest bedroom closet that there is in this house. And this one does have a light as well. None of these rooms have ceiling fans, unlike our previous two homes, which is all good. But let's get into this area. So this area is just super open. If y'all noticed a lot, so newer homes they have more open floor plans, just like this. There's no like separate dining room or different rooms divided. This type of open feeling makes the house feel bigger. I know a lot of people don't like this type of setup because it just looks plain, it looks like a shoebox. I hear it all. And you know, I can't fault you for that, for thinking that, because it's definitely like, I can see why people don't think that new builds have any personality to them. It's kind of hard to have personality on just like a wide open space, but that is the difference between resale and new construction. It comes down to technology, the structure of the house, the floor plan, the way everything is laid out, the colors, everything. Now we didn't step outside on the first house. We didn't really step outside in the second house either. But this one is just a little covered patio here. Now, I have walked other floor plans in this neighborhood to where you would just have a concrete block, a 4x4. And usually when it comes to new builds, you're not gonna have really a lot going on in the backyard or on the porch. Sometimes you might get lucky if you have a big porch or not. That's just how it is. This is gonna be the primary bedroom. And I would say this primary bedroom is still a good size, but I would definitely say that this is the smallest, maybe the second biggest primary bedroom that we've seen of the day. The second house definitely had a bigger primary bedroom. I'm debating if the first one had a bigger primary bedroom or not. We lose a little bit of space just due to this doorway right here. If we were just to cut that out and add that space to this bedroom, I would say without a doubt that we would have the second biggest room. But I think it's still debatable between the first room or first house and this one. All right, so just like our houses throughout the video today, we have our separate tub and shower. Now this is what I believe that the second house was so desperately missing in its bathroom, was a window. And this one has a privacy window, so it just lets that light in. I'm gonna turn off the light. See, the bathroom is still lit up. So I think that was a really, in the second house, without this type of window, it just made the bathroom seem smaller, and it just made everything have a yellow tint and just more like crowded. I don't know, that's just my opinion. But as y'all can see, this one has a double vanity sink. This outlet is just in the mirror. I do see that sometimes. I think it's hit or miss when it comes to new builds, because sometimes I see it, sometimes I don't. But this one has more space in between the two double vanities. So in turn, you have more drawer space. Let's see if this is soft close. Look, soft close as well. We didn't check that in the other houses, but it's safe to say that this is probably the only one that has it. Private commode, the second house had it, the first one didn't. And we have the closet, which I think this closet is bigger than the last house that we were in, but I think the first house still had the biggest closet. Now this one actually does not have the security system. Remember, I said usually new builds, the security system would be right in that primary bedroom's closet. So that is it for this tour. Make sure you stay tuned to me going back to the studio to reveal the price, the incentives, and after that we're gonna answer that age-old question: what is better between a resale home and a new build home? What would y'all rank this home on a scale of 1 through 10? Whether it's condition, whether you're basing that ranking on condition, the looks of it, the feeling of it, the colors, whatever your ranking system is, let me know what that rank is, what you give this house. Before we get to the studio, also let me know down below if you would prefer a resale home or a new construction home. Either way you go, we got you covered here at Life in Austin, Texas, all right? I'm gonna kick it back to you in the studio. All right, so for this last house, we're gonna be breaking one rule, and that rule is the interest rate. We are still putting 10% down on his last house, but instead of the interest rate being at 6.8%, it's going to be at 4.5%, because that is what the builder is currently offering as of today's recording. So with that being said, this house is priced at a sticker price of $343,000 as of today's recording. Your monthly payment is going to be roughly around $2,500. Hold up a second. You're telling me that this brand new house that is at least $30,000 more than the middle house and about $70,000 more than the first house is somehow cheaper than the second house and a little bit more expensive than the first house? How is that even possible? It comes down to your interest rate. And you do have the option of buying down that rate even further, but you will get to a point called the break-even point to where it just doesn't make any sense. And also there are some laws in place to where you can't buy down past a certain too much. You can't buy it down too much. Otherwise, you can just buy it down to 0%. This all goes back to that question that I asked at the very beginning, where buyers are asking me, well, what's the big difference between resale and new construction? Which one should I go with and why? This is the reason why. You are able to get a better deal with new construction. These resale homes just cannot compete with new construction. The reason why new construction has a higher sticker price is obviously that it's brand new. But the reason why these monthly payments are lower than a resale home is mainly because of the interest rates. As y'all saw throughout the video, y'all saw the differences in technology. Everything down from the hardware and blinds all the way up to how the house is actually built. We didn't take a look into the attic to see the different installations that they use, but even the construction materials are more eco-friendly, so they keep their utility costs down as much as possible. A lot of these builders are competing to be the greenest builder. And in case in point, it's just like the light switches helps with your utility bill. The way that these toilets are designed with the low water pressure to keep the water bill down as much as possible. Just these little small details do add up. And then on top of that, your home insurance is going to be cheaper on a new sale, on a new construction, and much more. And then plus, I mean, and then not only the things that I just mentioned, but we're also talking about warranty packages that resale properties just can't offer. Obviously, you're getting a brand new house instead of walking into a house 10, 20 years old and dealing with 10, 20-year-old problems, right? Down here in Texas, if your house doesn't come equipped with an irrigation system, you're going to be out there manually watering your lawn. And I don't know about you, but I just don't have enough time in the day to do that. So that's a benefit too, where I would say about 95% of the new builds that I walk, if not 100% of them, has an irrigation system. Where a resale home, we got lucky today with the resale properties, but typically resale properties would not automatically come with an irrigation system. Not only that, but remember that second house had an irrigation system, but the new construction house had an irrigation system that could connect to your Wi-Fi so you can control it from anywhere in the world as long as you have an internet connection. So there are so many pros and cons to going new construction and resale. With the resale, as we saw with the first two homes, especially that second home, you saw the beautiful archways. And these homes felt like they had more personality. The first one did need quite a bit of work, but that second one I felt like was a pretty well-balanced house to where you didn't really need to put a lot of work in. Maybe you could change the countertops up to make it more modern looking. That's about it. But you could see the beautiful archways. You could see the beautiful architect in that home, and it felt like it had a personality. And I'm not going to lie, that third home, the new construction home, just felt a little too boring and too bland. But that is the biggest differences between resale and new construction. And it really boils down to your goals at the end of the day. Just to give y'all a quick story before we tap out. One of my clients that we are going to close on the property next week, we started out the search looking at resale homes. The goal for him and his family was to buy a resale home or buy a home that's sitting on a couple acres, live in it for 5 to 6 years, and then find that forever home that's also sitting on a couple of acres, but in that time frame, they would be able to afford something bigger, better, more expensive, and potentially on more land when they get their income and their credit together. But the options that we were looking at was so limited that I introduced the idea of let's look at new construction, because either way, your goal is to move in 5 or 6 years. Why not take advantage of the lower monthly payments? You get yourself a brand new house. This is not going to be a forever home either way we go. And you save yourself money per month. And that way, once you're actually ready to buy that forever home, you at least have this built-in equity in your house. You have a place, you have a roof over your head. Told me that you needed a house anyways. And that is how we landed on a new build house. And that is how I came up with the idea of this video. If you found this video helpful in any way, shape, or form, leave me a like, comment down below your opinion on what your favorite house was. And you know what? If you are looking to buy a house within the next 30 days, 30 months, whatever the case is, reach out to me. My contact information is down below in my description. Let's schedule that one-on-one call. Let's get you and your family on a roadmap so we can find out what we need to do to get keys in your hand. Let's have that one-on-one talk. And if you guys want to see more videos like this one, let me know down below. Do y'all want to see different years of houses? Do y'all want me to focus more on new construction? Give me your feedback. I'm always listening. I'm always paying attention. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.